All right, we got a couple more things, then we're going to wrap up episode 102 of Common Sense Sundays. But this is what I mentioned at the top of the episode, something at least 2 years in the making. This album had been done for like a year, and we knew it was coming out as of like 2 years ago. And just finally, this past Friday, the Barstool Preachers' new album, Above the Static, was officially released. I am still waiting on my vinyl. Come on, Pure Noise, I'm watching it. It's somewhere in Nevada right now, but send me my vinyl. Fortunately, my sis Laura got her vinyl like Wednesday, brought it over. We had a whole listening party, and I highly recommend if you're getting the vinyl, take the time, check out the awesome artwork by the uber-talented Paul Smith of Zombie Teeth Clothing, and also Zombie Teeth music videos. He did a fantastic job with all the artwork on there. The vinyl itself is just beautiful. There's a bunch of different variations out there, and if you're not picking up the vinyl, it's available on Spotify, it's available on iTunes, and all that good stuff. It is fantastic from start to finish. And something that I think, and bands are getting better about these days, but back in the 90s, like late 90s, it got lost. And that is making an album that has the progression that you want to listen from start to finish as opposed to hand-picked songs. And Above the Static is a perfect example of that. It takes you through a musical progression, the different styles that we've heard from the Barstool Preachers over their previous 2 albums and their EP. It has old school Barstool Preachers feels. It has new school, new sound feels to it. It is a fantastic musical journey. In fact, there was one point where I want to say it was Lighthouse or something, and I turned to Laura and my wife, we're sitting there listening, and I go, I figured they would end with this. And then it gets to the last song, and I can't remember the title of the last song, but I went, oh, no, that was the song to end the album with. So just fantastic from start to finish. Can't say enough good things about it. Like I said, perfect blend of styles. So far, now I've got more listens to it, and I'm still picking up on things. It's another thing I'll mention in a moment. So far, my 2 favorite songs, I think, are Don't Die Today and Laptop. But of course, Lighthouse is just a beautiful, emotional song, and Paul Smith did a great job with the music video for that. TJ did a fantastic job with his singing and being in the music video. So of course that one is just on another level as well. What I will say, and this was like my 3rd listen that I realized it, and I think it was my first listen, the track Flatlined. There's a point where TJ kind of goes into like it's not a rap, but it's like a monologue. And I was listening, and I was like, this sounds very Mike Skinner of the Streets. I've been a fan of the Streets for a very long time. Well, it was my 2nd or 3rd listen. I'm listening, and I realized there's a lyric in there where TJ says, it's like I'm 12 again and listening to the Streets. And I went, it's like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's got the beard. It's like, and I realized he's actually talking about the Streets. And then I realized, like, no, that's totally about the same time, because I happen to be about 10 years older than TJ, and I found the Streets when I was like 21 or 22, introduced to them by my friend Rob Mercado when we were in film school, and just it hit me. I went, oh my gosh, this is because they're not similar. The Streets is electronic music with kind of rap, hip hop monologue over it. It's beautiful music, but it's very different from punk and ska. But it was just funny to realize that small connection, even though they're not the same type of music, and that being possibly a reason why I enjoy Barstool Preachers as much as I do, is because they, at least TJ, was influenced by Mike Skinner in the Streets, which was just a really cool thing to experience and realize. And I will say, I am unbelievably excited. It's been years because of COVID and everything else. I finally get to see them in May in Vegas, which is that is going to be a full circle of everything, because literally I was going to see them 3 or 4 times over the course of like 8 days, but all of that was April of 2020. And we all know what happened in March of 2020. So, of course, all those shows got canceled. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the boys and watching them perform, and hopefully see some of these new songs. I might have to bug TJ and be like, yo, you better be playing Don't Die Today. That is because that's the thing too, is I love Lighthouse. It's but sometimes there's songs you don't need to see live. Don't Die Today is like that's a banger. That is a party banger. We got to get this one live. Please, please, please don't die today live in Vegas. So really looking forward to that Vegas club show.